Alrighty, this week we're going to plow through quite a few of these activities here in lesson three because we need to finish this thing up and put it to bed. So 3.6 exercise where we're starting, and I'm just going to scroll down here and show you that 3.10 is the last kind of real just standard activity there is. And then after that, next week, we're going to be doing chatbots, and that starts up there right after 3.10. So we'll be doing that. We're doing chatbots next week. I'm also going to take a look at giving you guys quiz 2, which talks about chatbots and algorithms. Pretty fun. And then we're basically done with this. We'll do the unit review and the exam the following week, and that will finish up this lesson here. I'm not going to do these un-Nintendo milestones. We're going to skip those, by the way. We are going to spend some time with the chatbot, but that's next week. So this week, we're finishing out the regular 3 activities. So when you go to 3.6, there's an exercise for you to do there, analog versus digital data. It's pretty good. As you go through here, if you think about the difference between records and CDs, that's kind of what this is talking about, or talking about film pictures as opposed to digital photos. There used to be a lot of debate on which one was better, and digital has gotten to the point to where it certainly is the one that can be, reproduced well later more. So digital is kind of taken over a lot of where analog is, but there are some purists that like the analog as well, and certainly things last a lot longer in digital. This picture that was done here is a long time ago, and things in digital, they don't last all that long. You think they would, but they actually don't because of servers. They're on hard drives and servers for a while, and they have a finite amount of life to them, to whereas, this particular drawing here has lasted for thousands of years. So kind of crazy how that works, but that's a whole other thing. We'll talk about that later. But anyway, digital versus analog, there'll be a simple little activity for you to go through and do about making copies. You guys are probably too young for the Saturday Night Live show where the guy goes through and making copies, but it's funny. Next portion here talks about the big picture, reselling digital music. Like I said, once upon a time when you'd have to go to the store, if you're right here in good old La Mesa, it used to be where the pool hall is now, the On-Cue Billiards, that used to be a record store. And inside there, that's where you'd go and buy your music. So if someone came out with a new record, or new music, you'd have to go down to the record store, purchase the record, take it home and play it. And that's how you got your music. Now you download everything, or you watch it on YouTube for free. There used to be all kinds of services like Morpheus, Napster, where you could download music that people had already purchased and then posted it online. Talking about the legalities, for most of you probably that don't make music, think like, oh yeah, all music should be free. But if you sit down and make music and you're trying to do that for a living, you might have a different opinion on that. But as you go through here, you can have your opinion to be whatever it is. There's a question here where the AP style MC practice is. Go through and tell me about what your answer is and how you feel about reselling digital music. The Unit 3 Quiz 1 we're not going to do, so when you get to that, you can skip that. When you get to 3.7, making a list, you're going to be using a Scratch program to do this. When you go through, they're going to give you a lot of ideas on how to make this list in Scratch, so pay close attention to the videos, otherwise you're going to be kind of confused. But they give you just about all the code that you need to do, and it's all built right there into Scratch. So if you have any issues with this, let me know, because maybe you might get lost here. But like I said, there's a lot of examples in here. So if you watch the videos, and you pay attention, it'll all make sense. If you just try to jump down and do the activity, which will be on the next slide here, just building a list of names, you'll be lost. And you'll be like, okay, I have no idea how to do this. In fact, they give you all the program here, you just have to fix it. So this should be easy stuff. Nothing on here is really too big and scary. The 3.7 AP style MC practice, I did not assign to you, so you do not have to do this AP type question here. Next thing, 3.8, making a list. There's an introduction. There's a code along thing here for you to do in Scratch also. I definitely want you doing this. Notice there's players in the list that shows up there. They want you to try it out and work along with them. Notice every time you see it tried it out, that means you're supposed to be doing this code here. And then we get the next one here is when they give you an actual activity where you're supposed to process a sentence. Again, I don't think it's very difficult at all. In fact, they give you most of the code there. You just have to be able to discriminate what the correct answer is going to be and solve it. The 3.8 AP style practice, I don't have you signed for that either, so you can skip over that. 3.9 sorting a list, I do have you assigned for that. So again, code along lesson that's done here. There's some number swapping that goes on, building a list, trying it out. Of course, you're going to want to try it out because you can almost guess that when you do the exercise, that's what they're going to have you do. Create a block that resets two lists to a default configuration. So how are we going to do it? Well, there's lots of code here. How are you going to figure that out? So that's part of the task, figuring out how to alphabetize the list and get it sorted. That's part of it. This one I think I assigned a few more points to because this one was actually a little more complicated than the other activities were. The 3.9 AP style practice, you can skip over that, not assigning that. And then 3.10, lists in pseudocode. So pseudocode is just words, by the way. It's not actual code. It's just when you say you're going to do something. So if there's a name and it's assigned to player one, display the length of player one, meaning like how many letters there are in that. This is pretty simple here. Listing the implementation in different languages. Don't be terrified at all by that. It's pretty easy. You're going to write a program that takes a list of numbers and uses a loop to find the sum of all the odd numbers. So this one is kind of tough. So when you go through this is probably the only one that's going to give you any grief whatsoever. But if you followed their directions to this point and you've done the activities, should be easy. And now we'll finish it up for this week. So that's the last activity I have for you. Next week, like I said, we'll be doing chatbots, and I probably will assign the Unit 3 test also, so that way we can finish up this whole unit and move on to Unit 4 the following week. So we're on our third week of class here, and we've got quite a bit to go through. So I've been very generous as far as time-wise goes. Now I need to get you guys moving and move you through this curriculum. So challenging week this week. You got a whole 5 days to do it on, so there's no Martin Luther King or anything like that, but we are coming up on, we're going to lose a couple of days with presidents' birthdays as they come up next week. So just a heads up on that. So if you're one of the online virtual learners, I'll be making videos on Tuesdays and posting those just like this one is today, and I'll send a reminder out to everybody so that way they're aware of that. Let me know if you got any questions, and try to have some fun with this.